And welcome to Very Hard Questions, the quiz contest that unsurprisingly asks the very hardest questions on television. I often ask myself very hard questions like, if you learn from mistakes, then why aren't I a genius? We've assembled some of the very brightest brains in Britain to do battle in the very hardest of quizzing competitions. The more points our teams can score, the greater their chances of winning a place in the grand final, where the victors will walk away with a £5,000 prize, this magnificent trophy, and the crown of Very Hard Questions series champion. Playing today are Dan, George and Laura. They are Simply the West. And their opponents are Amy, Simon and Helen, also known as Winning Formula. We tossed a coin backstage and Simply the West, you will go first. Welcome to the show. Why Simply, why the West?
Simply, we are connected to the University of Bristol, which is in the west of England.
I gather that you put the teams together for some of the editions of University Challenge.
I help select the team for the University of Bristol, and I work with them. I pretend I'm a certain other person famous for broadcasting once upon a time.
There we are. Now, what about you, Laura?
So I graduated from the University of Bristol in geology and biology, and I've since been doing some science teaching, and I'm going to be starting my proper PGCE, seeking to spread my love of natural history to the next generation.
And Dan, I gather you have a quizzing accolade of the highest order.
Yes, so I did a quiz which was called the World Quizzing Championships, and out of all the under-20s who took part in it, my score was the highest.
Right. Well, we're gonna see this in action. That's delightful. Welcome to the show, Winning Formula. Tell me, where does that come from?
So Helen and I both work in data in one way or another, and Amy is a maths teacher, so that seemed to fit.
And how do you know each other?
Well, Helen and I are married.
Yep, that's a useful way of getting to know somebody. Yeah. And what about Amy?
We quiz fairly regularly now in the Quiz League of London.
The Quiz League of London? I mean, is there a fourth division or a first division?
Yes, there's
or
two
one...
third divisions.
Oh, come.
Yes,
So
there are.
there's 4 divisions and 2 Division 3s.
Are you in the top division?
We got relegated last year.
Oh, my
Don't
dear.
tell the people.
OK, great to meet you. Let's play Very Hard Questions. In round one, each team will answer 4 very hard questions. But to help you, you have 7 clues to use across the round. First letter gives you the first letter of the first word of the answer. Picture clue offers up a visual cryptic clue. Extra fact gives you more information about the answer. Definition is a dictionary-style description of the answer. Add words inserts more information into the question itself. Different question shows you another question with the same answer. And related words, which are 3 words, all connected to the answer. Every time a clue is used, it'll cost you a point, and you won't be able to use it again in the round. Remember, use them wisely, and make sure you don't end up completely clueless. Simply the West. Let's have a look at the very first very hard question. Joyce Banda, a past recipient of the Africa Prize for Leadership for the Sustainable End of Hunger, became the first female president of which country in 2012?
I have read about, I think, someone called Hastings Banda. I think it's Hastings Banda.
Yeah.
Who was the post-colonial, for a long time, leader of Malawi, I think.
OK,
But
Malawi would make sense. So should we ask for a clue to see which one it's going to be?
would
This is worth 4 points, so you can get it
first
straight
letter
off
be
without
very
any clues.
helpful, I think,
Well,
because there's only so many African
If
countries.
it's
Yeah,
of...
and we know them,
If-
so...
Yeah.
Let's do first letter, please, John.
First letter, M.
Should we go for Malawi
Let's
then?
do it.
Yeah.
We're going to take the plunge and answer Malawi.
For 3 points, let's see if Malawi is the correct answer. Malawi it is. Well played. Believe it or not, Hastings and Joyce are not related.
Oh.
They band her up, but they aren't related. That's 3 points for Simply the West. Winning formula, here is your first very hard question. Which painting created for a pavilion at a Paris International Exposition was vandalised by Tony Shafrazi in February 1974 while on loan to a museum of modern art?
I've heard, no, I've seen lots about vandalised paintings, but
Yes.
this one is not
Well, 1974.
Ringing bells.
But Vandalise is 74, so the painting could
Yes,
come from
exactly. I mean, it's
any
not
era.
a 1974 painting. I think
No, it could be
I
a-
think it's an old master of some kind.
Yeah.
What's going to help us, do you think? What's the most likely thing? I think something like related words or a different question.
4 points at stake. So if you use the clue, it's going to take you down 1 point.
Are we happy with that?
I think, yeah,
Yeah, we're going to go
let's go
for different question.
Different
please.
question. Labour Party leader Clement Attlee gave a speech in front of which anti-war painting when it was exhibited in the UK at the Whitechapel Gallery in 1939?
I've got a hunch. Is
Oh,
your
yes,
hunch
could it
the
be
same as
Guernica?
mine?
Well, I don't know. Mine is Guernica.
Yeah, I'm thinking Guernica.
That's exactly
Yeah,
what
for
I was
sure.
But how
thinking.
are we sure? Are we all just
39
linking on
seems
to
exactly
1939
right.
anti-war?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think let's
Yep.
not waste more
We're going to go
clues.
for Guernica.
So for 3 points, is Guernica the correct answer? Guernica it is. He spray painted the phrase "Kill lies all" onto the painting in foot-high red letters, partly in protest against the Vietnam War. Congratulations. And it scores you 3 points. Simply the West, let's have a look at your second very hard question. The Cullen and Deskford Parish Church still receives a small amount of money after which person decreed that a sum would be paid annually to pray for the soul of their spouse, whose insides are reportedly buried there.
You know where Cullen and Deskford, or either of the two?
Somewhere in this fair land.
Yes.
But it's insides, not their body. So is it someone who's been famously sort of dispatched in a grisly manner?
Yeah.
It's worth 4 points. If you take a clue, it'll be 1 less point.
What do you think is going to help?
I would go either for different question or picture clue.
I think a
Yeah,
picture could be quite
because then we might be able to see, because
Yeah.
it might be a county or something.
We'll have picture clue, please.
Picture clue.
Okay, well that's a spider.
Know the
in a-
species?
Spider.
Okay,
It's not a black
let's
widow or
think of
anything.
names. Let's maybe look at the wider picture. Eight-legged creature.
Spider.
to
Somebody
do with the
famous.
eighth, or-
Somebody famous by association with the spider, either by name or by a book.
Anyone
or
who died to a spider bite. I think we might
Who
have
else
to
did weaving? Yeah, I'm not.
Let's do another clue. Extra fact, perhaps.
Extra, yeah.
Stretch
let's
facts,
go.
Okay. Extra fact, please.
Extra fact. At different times, this person swore loyalty to King Edward I of England, but also joined the rebellion against him.
sit one of the ones up north.
A lord somebody.
Do we want to use another one or just go for a guess and save these? So if
Let's
you
just
wanna-
pick one.
Yeah.
Let's just choose something. What were you saying?
We could say like the Earl of Northumberland or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, go. That sounds.
Earl of Northumberland.
For 2 points, let's see if the Earl of Northumberland is the correct answer. Oh dear,
Yes.
it's incorrect. Winning formula, do you have any?
Robert the Bruce?
Robert the Bruce
Cullen
is indeed the correct answer. Well done. You don't get any points for that, but you get a lot of kudos. Yeah. At the time, Robert the Bruce promised 5 Scots pounds would be paid. Now the local council donates about £2.10 to the church every year. What a generous local council. That is a picture of a cave spider in reference to the popular story that whilst in exile, Robert was inspired to keep trying for the throne after watching a spider repeatedly try to build a web until it finally succeeded. Bad luck, no points then. Now, winning formula, let's have a look at your next very hard question. Which comedian featured in his own sketch show at 8:30 p.m. on Channel 4's first night of broadcasting?
Oh, I have no idea.
Slightly self-indulgent question.
82.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who was big in? Was it 82? If I got that?
80s. Yeah.
Probably not one of the really old school because Channel 4 is new, so it's probably
Young,
somebody who's quite
yeah,
young
yeah.
in 82,
Yeah.
I would guess.
So it's maybe someone would
Somebody
think
quite
of a veteran now.
like Lenny Henry, somebody
give me
like
some
that. We're going to need
we're
a clue
thinking,
of
yeah.
We're going to
some
need something,
kind.
aren't we?
Well, you've got 6 clues to choose from.
Yes, what do you think?
Use a clue, you'll be down to 3 points.
Maybe try related words.
Okay, let's try. Yeah.
Maybe give us some gist.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. We'll try related words, please.
Related words. Barbie, Mick, Flipper.
Barbie
Could be Australian, and that could be like a barbecue.
as in barbecue. Could be Barbie and Ken. Is there a Ken
Oh,
who was
Ken.
around then?
Mick.
Mick doesn't seem to give me anything. Should we try a picture clue?
Yeah.
We'll
Why
get,
not?
all right, we'll try picture clue, please.
Picture clue.
Right.
Oh,
you're our
it's
food expert.
Paul Hogan.
What is
Dundee
that?
cake.
Oh,
Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile
Oh, it's
Dundee.
Paul Barbie.
Yes.
Barbie. Okay.
Yep,
I'm
I think
I
so.
like that. I'm happy with
Yeah.
Paul Hogan. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. Yep. We're going to give the answer as Paul Hogan.
For 2 points, let's see if Paul Hogan is the correct answer. Related words. Barbie. Hogan popularised the phrase "another shrimp on the Barbie" in tourism adverts in the 1980s. Mick is the first name of his character, Crocodile Dundee. Flipper, he played Porter Ricks in the 1996 film Flipper. Winning formula, you score 2 points. We are at the halfway point of round one, so let's take a look at the scores. Simply the West have 3 points, and Winning Formula are in the lead with 5 points. It's time for a short break, but when we return, our teams will face some more very hard questions. How will they get on? Stay with us to find out. Welcome back to Very Hard Questions. Simply the West, let's have a look at your third very hard question. Pre-recorded by the original English artist, Wiederhopf im Mai is the title of the German language version of which UK hit single?
In May.
Yes,
Do we know
Yeah.
a song called?
but
Something
it
in
might not
May.
be a literal translation.
Right. So what do we want?
Yeah, we need to get something extra.
Um,
So
definition there.
add words.
Edwards,
I think. Yeah.
could we have add words, please?
Add words. Re-recorded by the original female English artist, Wiederhopf in Mai is the title of the German language version of which UK #1 hit single.
Well, the fact that it was #1 hit does not help me in the slightest. Something in May. But it could be something else about spring
Yeah.
or that time of year.
Try.
Female English artist.
You have 3 clues left.
Because
And at the
there's
moment
one
you're
question
on
after
3
this,
points.
isn't there?
So which two do we want to save for the last one?
I think different questions
We'll
would be
save.
useful.
We'll save different questions and go
Okay.
for related words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, related words, please.
Related words. Goodrich, merry-go-round, Vienna.
Like carnival? Is there a song about like a carnival or a fair?
Windmill.
A Mayfair
Windmills
or,
of your mind.
or German
Should we
speaking?
just choose a singer from the 60s, female singer from the
Yeah.
60s? Cilla Black, because her connection to the Beatles and
Very good.
producers.
Cilla Black.
For 2 points, let's see if Cilla Black is the correct answer. Incorrect, I'm afraid. The answer was Puppet on a String.
Oh my.
Wiederhopf im Mai translates literally as hoopoe in May and was performed by Sandy Shaw. Hoopoe is a type of bird. And the related words were Goodrich. Sandra Goodrich is Sandy Shaw's real name. Merry-go-round. Merry-go-round is a lyric in the song. And Vienna, Puppet on a String, won the Eurovision Song Contest when it was held in Vienna. Well, bad luck. You didn't score any points. Winning formula, let's have a look at your third very hard question. The planet Uranus appears blue-green in colour due to the presence of which compound in its atmosphere, which absorbs the red wavelengths of sunlight?
I'm looking your way at the moment.
I've got a feeling it's ammonia something.
Ammonia.
It's
I mean,
not enough to
Yeah,
go for
I mean,
it.
ammonia is a compound.
Yes, it is.
With something like that, it might almost be worth
We have
going
got
for,
first letter.
for a first letter.
This is worth 4 points.
No,
Use a clue to go down to
First
3.
letter. Let's go for it.
let's go
Should we
first
do-
letter.
We'll go first letter, please.
First letter. First letter is M.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, that
That's why
rules
we
that
didn't
one
have-
out.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Methane then,
Methane.
That sounds much more likely. Yeah, that could well be it.
because it's a gas giant.
It is,
Yeah.
and that's exactly the kind of gas that those things
Yeah,
are made of. Yeah.
Do we go for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to go for methane, please.
For 3 points, let's see if methane is the correct answer. Methane is it. Congratulations, Winning Formula. That was the correct answer and scores you 3 points. Simply the West, let's have a look at your final very hard question in this round. Which footballer scored the first hat-trick in the Men's English Premier League?
Why is this happening
So,
to me?
Premier League started in
92.
92.
I
Should
don't
we
know
just straight away?
specifically.
We got two
Let's go straight
clues.
away to. Let's start with definition.
Definition. Footballer born in Marseille in May 1966.
Eric Cantona.
Oh, there you go.
Are you,
I think it's a safe bet.
okay.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
let's go. Eric Cantona.
For 3 points, let's see if Eric Cantona is the correct answer. Eric Cantona is. There we are. Cantona scored 70 Premier League goals in total in his career. That was the correct answer, and it scores you 3 points. Winning formula, let's have a look at your final, very hard question of this round. Porgs, fictional animals that first appeared in the film Star Wars, Episode 8, The Last Jedi, were created in order to disguise which species of animal that was constantly present at one of the filming locations.
Oh, I've heard this.
No, I don't know it. My first thought was puffin.
Puffins, yes.
That sounds really good. I like
Because
that.
they're
Yeah.
the same sort of size.
Yeah.
I'm sure I remember
Yeah.
reading it.
I'm a good 80-90% sure you're right.
Oh, I like that.
Can you answer for 4 points, or do you need another clue?
I think we should go for it.
Yeah,
I
go
think we
for
should
it.
go for the 4 points.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
We're going to go for puffins.
For 4 points, let's see if puffin is the correct answer. Puffin it is. Puffin it is. Well done. Rather than digitally removing the frequently visible puffins at great cost, the director, Ryan Johnson, suggested painting over them with a fictional Star Wars appropriate animal whenever one was in a shot. That was a very impressive answer. Your first 4-pointer of the show. Fantastic. Well done. We are at the end of round 1, so let's take a look at the scores. Simply the West have 6 points, and Winning Formula are in the lead with 12 points. Some impressive answering from both teams, but with plenty more points on offer in the next round, it's still all to play for. Welcome back to Very Hard Questions, where both our teams are vying for a top 2 spot on the leaderboard and a place in the end of series final. Let's get straight on with round 2. In this round, you'll tackle your own board of 3 questions, but be warned, answer a question incorrectly and your round is instantly over, and any points scored in the round will be lost. You now only have 5 clues to use across all 3 questions, and remember, the more clues you use, the more points you lose. Let's have a look at your clues. Now, different question and extra fact, both of which you have already seen. Multiple choice, you will see 4 possible answer options, but only one is correct. Audio clue, you'll be played an oral hint to the answer. And redacted text, you'll see a sentence containing the answer, but the key information has been censored. Simply the West, here's your board of 3 questions. Question 1. After filming had already started, Jodie Foster replaced which actor as the character Meg Altman in the film Panic Room? Question 2. In a letter to his friend Paetus, Cicero described himself as audacious for having hosted a dinner for the Roman consul Hirtius without serving the meat. Of which animal? Question 3. On the electromagnetic spectrum, what type of radiation has wavelengths between approximately 0.78 and 1,000 micrometers?
Yeah.
Which one would you like to tackle first?
It's going to be...
Let's start with number 3.
Let's start with 3, yeah.
Starting with number 3.
So we got radio.
Because radio's a massive range,
Yeah.
and
There's-
it's like several more orders of magnitude than that.
Radio, infrared.
Radio, infrared,
What's the one in between? Oh,
microwave,
Microwave, that's
infrared.
okay. So which of those is going to help us differentiate?
Yeah, we should definitely play it safe because otherwise we won't get
Yeah.
to do the other questions.
Oh, yeah.
Answer incorrectly, your round will be over and you will score nothing.
Extra fact.
I would go for that.
Help, do you think?
Do you think the other? Yeah, I think because the other clues are going to be better for the other questions.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Extra fact, please.
Extra fact. It was discovered in 1800 by William Herschel through its effect on a thermometer.
Well, I know that because
Infrared.
it could be infrared then.
Because that's
Or microwave,
fluid
but-
heat is...
Yeah, And I have a feeling that it was Herschel because there's this whole thing about looking at the spectrum and then going beyond, and it was definitely a big name.
This is the question we're most likely to get, so I think we ought to play
We should play
safest with
safe.
it.
I agree.
I think
So-
it's likely to be infrared. Thinking about the time Herschel was around, it kind of makes more sense to be infrared. But you're right, let's pick another clue and check.
Okay.
Exactly.
Multiple choice won't help, so I don't think we should use
The only
multiple
option,
choice.
if we're going to go for one, would be different question.
Okay, and it should be obvious then straight
Okay.
away, right? Yeah.
Different question, please.
Different question. What type of electromagnetic radiation has a name that partly derives from a Latin word meaning below or beneath?
So it's infrared.
Yeah.
Infrared.
I need to remind you that if you answer incorrectly, curtains. Let us see for 2 points whether infrared is the correct answer. Infrared it is. Infrared radiation is situated between visible rays and microwave rays on the electromagnetic spectrum. I'm sure somebody on the team mentioned infrared very early on when you could have won in 4 points.
I think it's better to be safe than sorry in this round.
It scores you 2 points. Which question would you like to tackle next?
This is the very one, right?
I think we should go for Cicero.
Yeah.
Number 2, please.
Number 2, in a letter to his friend Paetus, Cicero described himself as audacious for having hosted a dinner for the Roman consul Hirtius without serving the meat of which animal?
Well, they ate some really strange things.
It's not only pork, is it? It's going to be
No,
steak,
it's
something
gonna be like
otherwise.
lion or something like that.
Or an exotic bird.
Yeah, you're right. Not quite peacock, but what kind of...
I think redacted text is
Yeah.
the most helpful of the 3 clues
I
that we
think I
have.
agree with you there. Let's go for that.
Yeah. Redacted text, please.
Redacted text. Just as people behave to me, so do I behave to them. When I see that a person despises me and treats me with contempt, I can be as proud as any blank Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Oh, did I say that before? Did I say that out loud when I said peacock earlier? I did.
We did.
I can't, it's definitely peacock.
Okay, right. No, that makes sense.
I'm confident it'll be peacock. I'm not definite.
I can see your hesitation simply because get anything wrong and you will score nothing.
No,
I think
let's go down
peacock.
that route. Let's go peacock.
We're going to go for peacock.
Okay, for 3 points, let's see if peacock is the correct answer. Peacock it is. Roast peacock was standard fare for rich Romans. Cicero was a statesman who served as consul of the Roman Republic. And it scores you 3 points, 5 for this round. Let's look at your final question. After filming had already started, Jodie Foster replaced which actor as the character Meg Altman in the film Panic Room?
Why don't we start with multiple choice?
Yeah.
And then we can use
We can
the audio
verify
clue
with the
to
audio
hook up.
clue. Let's do that. Let's do that.
So we'll start with multiple choice, please, John.
Multiple choice. Angelina Jolie, Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman, Laura Dern.
So, are there any that we think we can rule out of that?
It's worth 3 points.
Let's do audio clue.
Okay.
Yeah, we can work it
Okay,
out.
do audio.
Audio clue, please.
Audio clue.
Nancy Sinatra.
It's Nicole Kidman. She sang this with Robbie Williams. It's Nicole Kidman.
Okay, very good.
100%.
Very good.
Sarah Nicole. Yeah.
We are of the opinion that it is Nicole Kidman.
This is worth a further 2 points, but if it's wrong, it means you lose the 5 points you already had. So, for 2 points, let's see if Nicole Kidman is the correct answer. Nicole Kidman it is.
Well done, Dan.
I was seeing some hot quizzing here. Nicole Kidman had to stand down after injuring her knee during filming. That song was Something Stupid by Frank and Nancy Sinatra, which Nicole Kidman covered with Robbie Williams in 2001. 3 very impressive answers. Simply the West, you scored 7 points out of a possible 12. OK, winning formula. Here is your board of 3 questions. Question 1, Thames Town, a development modelled after an English town, complete with mock Tudor buildings, a fish and chip shop and red telephone boxes, is situated about 20 miles southwest from the centre of which major city? Question 2, at the 2012 Olympics closing ceremony, who performed the Pink Floyd song Wish You Were Here alongside Nick Mason of Pink Floyd, Mike Rutherford of Genesis and Richard Jones of The The Feeling. And question 3, around 1920, before working in the film industry, the director Preston Sturges invented a variation of which specific product?
Well, I think we know the country for number 1. I
Yes,
know
but
the
we
country.
don't know the city.
We don't know the city.
No.
Shall
Like,
we
he's useful
try
for
number
2.
1
Should we try number 1
first?
first and see what happens?
Yeah.
See where we get to with it. We'll go with number 1, please.
Thames Town, a development modelled after an English town, complete with mock Tudor buildings, a fish and chip shop and red telephone boxes, is situated about 20 miles southwest from the centre of which major city?
So given that we know
Probably.
it's China, do you think
Probably.
multiple choice might be a good...
But are we
Well,
just
if
gonna
it's-
go
if-
with four
If it's
Chinese
not, yes, if it's
cities?
not 4 Chinese cities,
I don't
then-
think it will be.
Well, we could
Well,
give that a go then.
But if it's sort of Shanghai, Beijing,
I'm thinking it probably wouldn't be Shanghai because is Shanghai not on the south coast of somewhere?
Should we go for
Yeah, let's
go
try
for
the multiple choice and see if we've got 4 different countries.
We're going to try multiple choice, please.
Multiple choice. Chengdu, Osaka, Shanghai, Hiroshima.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think it is Japan.
no.
And I think Shanghai is on the south coast. So unless it's on a bit of south coast that goes kind of like that, I think Chengdu. I think we need to do one more to be sure, because I mean,
Yeah.
it would be a shame to just take a risk at this
We
point.
need something, don't
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
For
So,
the moment, you have 3 points on this one. If you get it right, get it wrong, and the round is over instantly.
yeah, let's go for extra fact.
Extra fact?
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to have an extra fact, please.
Extra fact. The city is situated on the Huangpu River in the Yangtze Delta.
Oh, now that means it might very well be. Is Shanghai not in, on the... Doesn't the Yangtze come kind of down and the delta is...
I can't place Chengdu at all.
You've used 2 clues, but
Yeah,
there's one more.
I think one more clue, if that's going to do
And
it.
then we've only got 2 clues for 2 questions.
Yeah, that's true.
I really want to go for Shanghai.
Go for it.
Should we do it?
Yep.
Let's do it.
We're going to go for Shanghai.
So for 2 points, is Shanghai the right answer? If it's incorrect, you are out of this round with no points. Shanghai. The town was created to try to draw people out of the city proper, though it's had limited success and is more popular as a backdrop for tourist and wedding photographs. Very well played. It scores you 2 points. Which question would you like to tackle next?
We'll go for number 3, please.
Around 1920, before working in the film industry, the director Preston Sturges invented a variation of which specific product?
So we know we're not going to get it for 4 points.
No.
No.
Quite tempted for audio with this one. Should we give it a go? Come on, what have we got to lose?
Yeah.
Should we try audio?
Yeah, go for it.
We will have an audio clue, please.
Audio clue.
Me all alone at the record hall. Told me you were going out for a soda pop. You were gone for quite a while, half an hour more.
Okay.
Well, we could try the redacted text here and see if we can fit it with the audio clue.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, we'll have redacted text, please.
Redacted text. Adding sound to movies would be like putting blank on the Venus de Milo. Mary Pickford.
So my immediate thought is lipstick. That was lipstick on your collar.
Oh, wow. Oh, gosh.
And that
That
fits.
was, wasn't it?
Put
We
it together.
sure?
That
It
was a
is.
light
Yeah,
bulb,
we'll
yes.
Yeah.
go for it.
Happy?
Yep.
Happy. Lipstick.
Okay, for 2 points, let's see if lipstick is the correct answer. Lipstick it is. Preston Sturges invented a kiss-proof lipstick called Red Red Rouge. He went on to win the Best Original Screenplay Oscar for The Great McGinty in 1941. It scores you 2 points. Final question. At the 2012 Olympics closing ceremony, who performed the Pink Floyd song Wish You Were Here alongside Nick Mason of Pink Floyd, Mike Rutherford of Genesis and Richard Jones of The Feeling?
So I think we immediately need
think
the
we want
different
the question.
Yeah, can we have a different question?
Different question. In 2013, which artist made their Grammy Awards stage debut performing a duet with Elton John? I need to remind you that you have 4 points in this round. Venture a wrong answer, you've lost the lot.
I wouldn't punt on
I
we-
wouldn't be
Emily
prepared to punt.
Sandler or anyone like that.
Should we pass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we
We're out.
agreed. We've got nothing that makes us lean in any direction, so we're going to have to pass.
Well, you've decided to pass on that question. The answer was Ed Sheeran.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Really?
Well, winning formula, you have anyway scored 4 points out of a possible 12. That's the end of round 2, so let's see what that's done to the scores. Simply the West have 13 points and winning formula are in the lead with 16 points. Join me after the break when the teams will face a quick-fire round of very hard questions. Welcome back to Very Hard Questions, where our teams have been competing for the points they need to secure a top 2 spot on the leaderboard. Remember, only the 2 highest scoring teams from across the entire series will make it through to the grand final, where £5,000 and the series champion crown will be up for grabs. In round 3, each team will face 5 very hard questions. But now every one of them will be against the clock. Give a wrong answer or run out of time and you score nothing. If everyone is ready, let's play. Round 3. Simply the West, here's your first very hard question against the clock. Who was both the maternal grandfather of naturalist Charles Darwin and the inventor of the pyrometer?
I think it's a Wedgwood, isn't it?
It's maternal grandfather. I thought that was Erasmus.
Josiah Wedgwood or another one?
But no, that would be
Okay.
the maternal grandfather because he married into the Wedgwood family, so it can't be the Wedgwoods.
You're
It
right.
must be the
Okay.
Right. Extra fact, please.
Extra fact. He created a substance he called jasper when he experimented with barium sulfate.
Does that help at all?
No.
Should we go for
The
another
only,
one?
I think it's going to be
Yeah.
Erasmus, but let's ask him another.
Erasmus who?
Erasmus Darwin,
Oh, okay.
because he was really famous.
Related words, please.
Related words. Thrower, Etruria, Portland.
It's the Discobolus. A picture clue, please.
Picture clue. You're out of time. What answer would you have given if you'd managed
I
to get
think it's Erasmus Darwin.
Josiah Wedgwood? Oh, well, I'm very sorry. Pyrometers are used to measure high temperatures, such as a furnace or kiln. Here are the related words. Thrower. As a boy, Wedgwood worked as a thrower in his brother's pottery. Etruria. In 1769, Wedgwood opened the Etruria Works in Stoke-on-Trent, named after an ancient region of Italy. Portland. Josiah Wedgwood and his son spent 4 years trying to emulate the Portland vase in jasper. Bad luck, no points there. Winning formula, here's your first very hard question against the clock. In 2013, in the city of Melbourne, a group of what began receiving love letters when around 70,000 of them were assigned individual email addresses?
Oh, this was something like post boxes or
Trees?
trees. It could well be trees. Oh, I think it's trees.
Want to go for it?
I really, really want to go for it.
Go for it. Well, hang on, we don't lose anything by taking some time.
The controlling influence again.
We have.
We've only got 20
I
seconds,
think
so we
it.
should
Yes.
really
I
go for it.
I think we should go for it.
Yep.
We're going for trees.
For 4 points, is trees the correct answer? Trees it is. Trees it is. What was your worry? What were your reservations?
Just that I was having a brain fart. Just that I'd thought of something random and it was nothing to do with reality.
The email addresses were intended to be used to report issues to the local council, but the people responded with messages expressing their affection and gratitude for trees they were particularly fond of. That is your second 4-pointer. Very impressive. Simply the West, here's your second very hard question against the clock. The name of which institution, founded by Martha d'Estel, was inspired by the insignia of the Order of Saint-Esprit?
Is it like a red cross?
Picture clue.
I think it might be the
Picture
red
clue, please.
cross.
Picture clue.
Oh,
A Kiev.
Kiev.
Chicken Kiev. Ukraine, something Ukrainian.
the institution.
Extra fact, please.
Extra fact. One of the sites of the institution overlooking the River Seine has a vegetable garden on the roof.
Okay, add words. No, what do you think?
Just go, add words.
Add words, please.
Culinary.
Culinary.
Oh, the cordon bleu.
Yeah, that.
Cordon bleu.
For 1 point, is cordon bleu the correct answer? Cordon bleu, correct answer. Well done. The badge of the order was hung on a blue sash, or cordon bleu. The cordon bleu became a recognisable mark of distinction, eventually being used in relation to food. And it scores you 1 point. Winning formula, here's your second very hard question against the clock. An avant-garde painting by Hungarian artist Robert Berene that had been lost since the 1920s was recovered after an art historian spotted the work being used as a prop in which 1999 film?
I don't know.
I've heard the story, but I don't know what it was. Should we go for different question?
Yeah,
Or
why
if we
not?
don't, yeah.
Yeah, different question, please.
Different question. What is the title of the first children's novel by E.B. White?
Ooh, it could be 5 children in it. It could be.
Oh, God, who was E.B. White?
E.B. White. Didn't E.B. White do the
Oh.
spider one?
Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web.
So
Should we go for it?
could do.
want a
So come on, we've got time for one more clue.
All right, let's have a picture clue, please.
Picture clue.
Lord, I don't know who that is. Maybe it's somebody
Come on,
who's
hurry up.
Okay.
Definition.
quick. No.
No. We're going to go for Charlotte's Web.
For 2 points, Charlotte's Web, is it the correct answer?
No.
Incorrect. The correct answer is Stuart Little. Sleeping Lady with Black Vase was returned to Hungary and sold at auction in 2014 for £182,000 only. That's Michael J. Fox, who voices the character of Stuart Little. Simply the West, here's your third very hard question against the clock. At Minnesota University in 1923, women were first permitted to participate in which activity, pioneered 25 years earlier by Johnny Campbell, a former student at the same institution?
Just get a different question
Be a
straight
sport
away.
like
Extra
ice
fact,
hockey.
please.
Extra
Not
fact.
Minnesota.
While attending Phillips Academy in Andover, George W. Bush was the head of a team that participated in this activity.
Not basketball or something.
No, it's not
No,
basketball.
Okay.
get a different.
Different question, please.
Different question. Which activity is the subject of the
Oh,
two?
cheerleading.
Cheerleading.
For 2 points, is cheerleading the correct answer? It is the correct answer, cheerleading. Well done. Although Minnesota University allowed women to participate in cheerleading in 1923, it took many male students being drafted into World War II for women to widely get involved in the activity. And it has scored you 2 more points. Winning formula, here's your third very hard question against the clock. Who wrote the set of novels The House at Chilton, The Prodigal Daughter, and The Lost Son?
No.
What do you
Anybody?
think?
Anything?
No.
No. Should we try?
Yeah, try and
Extra fact.
Extra fact.
Yep.
Extra fact, please.
Extra fact, her son Danny Kruger has been a speechwriter for David Cameron.
no,
Oh, rings a bell.
It does,
but
but I
don't
still
know.
don't have it.
Definition, please.
Definition, South African-born restaurateur, food writer and TV personality.
Isn't that Prue Leith? I believe it's Prue Leith.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
good.
think so.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Prue Leith.
For 2 points, is Prue Leith the correct answer? It is. The novels by Bake-Off judge Prue Leith chart the dramas of several generations of the Angelotti family, many of whom are cooks or restaurateurs, and it scored you 2 points. Simply the West, here's your fourth very hard question against the clock. Which British politician was once hit by a car driven by a man named Mario Contasino whilst trying to cross a road?
Any
This is
ideas?
it's a super famous person, but I
Okay,
can't
so
remember who.
your
So that's
first
just,
letter maybe?
First letter, please.
First letter W.
it might well be Winston Churchill.
Okay. Winston Churchill.
For 3 points, is Winston Churchill the correct answer? Well done. That's the correct answer. Churchill looked the wrong way before crossing Fifth Avenue in New York, and it scored you 3 points. Winning formula, here's your fourth very hard question against the clock. L'Anse Meadow, said to be the earliest discovered Viking settlement in North America, is located on which island?
think
Newfoundland, isn't it?
Well,
yes, is
I'm
that
I'm
an
pretty
island?
sure. Yeah.
is that definitely an island?
Yeah.
It's not sort of Prince Edward or any of the small ones.
No, I
No,
think
I'm
it is
pretty sure it's
Newfoundland. I think that's right.
Do you want to risk it?
Risk it, because I think Newfoundland would be the first place they'd have landed.
Can we do it?
Yeah.
Newfoundland.
For 4 points, is Newfoundland the correct answer? Newfoundland is correct. Norse explorers established a settlement on the Canadian island around the year 1000. That is the third 4-pointer in this competition, and that is a remarkable moment. It's still extremely tight as we go into the final moments. Simply the West, here's your final very hard question against the clock. The Turritopsis dornii, described as immortal because when it reaches maturity it can return to an earlier stage in its development cycle, is a species of what?
Is it some sort of sea creature, isn't it? Like an octopus or a jellyfish?
Well, I know that sunfish have like a unique stage of. It's really annoying that that's not.
Should we have a first letter, perhaps?
Let's do a definition, actually.
Definition.
Okay, definition, please.
Definition: free-swimming marine invertebrate.
It could be
Is it like a
jellyfish.
krill or is it? Yeah, actually, let's go. Let's just.
Should we add a
go
first letter?
First, yeah, do that.
First letter, please.
First letter, J.
Okay,
Yeah.
jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
For 2 points, is jellyfish the correct answer? Jellyfish it is. Well done. This species of jellyfish can die, but if physical damage or starvation occurs, it transforms all of its existing cells into a younger state and so effectively returns to infancy. How charming.
Yes.
And secures you 2 points. Winning formula, here's your final, very hard question against the clock. Which celebrity was born in a London Underground station on the 13th of February 1944?
You know this, don't you?
Jerry Springer.
Sorry?
Jerry Springer, isn't it?
Jerry Springer. Yeah.
Brilliant. Go for it.
I'm sure. Yeah. That's the right day, isn't
It's
it?
the right
Yeah,
date. Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
the right
All right,
date.
go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
his
yeah. It's the
name.
common
Yeah.
name.
Jerry Springer.
For 4 points, once again, is Jerry Springer the correct answer? Yes, my God. That is the fourth 4-pointer. That is incredible. His mother was one of many people using Highgate Underground Station as a bomb shelter at the time, and it scores you 4 points. That's the end of round 3, so let's have a look at the scores. Simply the West have 21 points, and Winning Formula are in the lead with 30 points. Teams, you now have one last chance to win some all-important points. Need I remind you, only the 2 highest-scoring teams from the entire series will contest the grand final and battle it out for £5,000 and the series champion trophy. Let's play the very hardest question. Now, you're playing on the buzzer against each other, and only one team can walk away with the points. I will reveal a question. If you think you know the answer, buzz in, answer correctly, and win yourself 8 points. I will continue revealing clues until someone answers the question correctly. But the points on offer will reduce each time a clue is revealed. Answer incorrectly, and your team will be locked out of the remainder of the clues. Fingers on buzzers, here is the very hardest question. Reflecting the prize the cyclist wins, the jersey given to the winner of the climbing classification in the Arctic Race of Norway is informally known by what name? Can anyone answer for 8 points? First up is add words. Reflecting the edible prize the cyclist wins, the jersey given to the winner of the climbing classification in the Arctic Race of Norway is informally known by what name?
Yeah, if you haven't heard it, that's not.
No. Very deluxe.
Can anybody
Raise
answer
it
for
artificial.
7 points?
And lock yourselves out if we're wrong.
Next is an audio clue.
Brand new dance. I know you're gonna love it if you give it one chance. It's not complicated, it's not too hard. You don't even have to be a hip hop star.
Can anyone answer for 6 points?
Do something.
It sounded like Funky Cold Medina, but I don't think it was.
Here comes a different question. The name of which animal appears in the title of... Laura?
Salmon.
Yes.
So for 5 points, is salmon the correct answer? Salmon it is. Wow. Well, many congratulations, Laura. What got you there?
Salmon fishing on the Yemen.
Yeah.
So I read the book, and then it must have been the first time I went to America. That was a film I watched on the plane. Yeah.
Memorable. The race is sponsored by the Norwegian salmon industry, and the winner receives 500 kilograms of salmon. The song you heard was The Salmon Dance by the Chemical Brothers. And of course, you were right. The film was adapted from the book Salmon Fishing in the Yemen. Many congratulations. 5 points for the correct answer. Here are the final scores. In second place, with a score of 26, we have Simply the West. But today's winners, with a score of 30, it's Winning Formula. Those terrific scores send Winning Formula and Simply the West into the top 2 spots, and they are now the teams to beat. Unfortunately, Assassin's Guild and Intelligence can no longer qualify for the final. But congratulations, both teams, for really sporting and fabulous play. Thank you very much. You're a lesson to us all. Join me next time when another bunch of very clever people attempt to answer some very hard questions. And finally, I leave you with this very hard question. If a person told you they were a pathological liar, would you believe them? Goodbye.